If you're seeing this, don't ignore it, because this is not random. You didn't just come across this by accident, and I know that sounds strange, but something inside you told you to stop and listen. And that feeling is not coincidence. It's a moment. And moments like this don't come often, so just give me a minute of your time. Because lately, something hasn't felt right in your life. You've been thinking more than usual, feeling a little heavier than normal, maybe overthinking at night, maybe questioning things you used to feel sure about, and you haven't said it out loud. But deep down you know something is off. Something is changing, and you don't fully understand it yet, and that confusion is uncomfortable. Because you like clarity, you like knowing where you're going, but right now it feels like you're walking without direction, like you're trying your best, but nothing is really moving forward, and that makes you feel stuck. But what if you're not stuck? What if you're in a moment of transition? Because before anything new begins, something old has to end. And that ending is never easy. It feels like loss. It feels like confusion. It feels like nothing is working. But that doesn't mean nothing is happening. It means something is shifting behind the scenes. And I know you're tired of hearing that, because you want real change, visible change, something you can actually see and feel. But the truth is, the biggest changes in your life will always start internally before they show up externally. And right now, whether you realize it or not, you are changing. Your mindset is changing. Your awareness is growing. You're starting to notice things you used to ignore, feel things more deeply, question things more honestly. And that's not weakness, that's growth. But growth is uncomfortable. It makes you feel lost before it makes you feel found. And that's why this season feels confusing, because you are no longer the person you used to be. But you're not fully the person you're becoming yet. You're in between. And that in-between stage is where most people give up, because it doesn't feel stable. It doesn't feel clear. But this is the part that matters the most. This is where direction is formed. This is where strength is built. This is where your next version is created. And I know it feels slow. I know it feels like you're falling behind, especially when you look at others and it seems like they have everything figured out. But you're not behind. You're on a different timeline. And comparison is what's making you feel worse, because you're comparing your process to someone else's result, and those are not the same thing. And right now, your only job is not to have everything figured out. It's to stay, to not run away from this moment, to not distract yourself from what you're feeling, but to face it, understand it, grow through it. Because this is not the end of your story. This is just a turning point, and turning points always feel uncomfortable because they force you to let go of what's familiar and step into something unknown. And I know that's scary, but staying the same is even more dangerous, because you will never become who you're meant to be if you keep holding on to who you used to be. And maybe that's why you're here right now. Maybe you needed this reminder that you're not lost. You're not failing. You're not too late. You're just in a moment of change, and moments like this don't last forever. But what you do in this moment matters. So don't ignore this feeling. Don't ignore this message. Don't ignore the voice inside you telling you to grow, to move, to change. Because this could be the moment everything starts to shift for you, but only if you choose to pay attention. So take a breath, slow down, and ask yourself honestly, what do I need to change right now? And whatever answer comes to your mind first, don't ignore it, because that's where your next chapter begins.